So this is a bit of a side quest from the usual builds. I'm making a life-size Stitch from the Disney movie for my 6-year-old for Christmas. I don't think he's expecting it. I've 3D printed the tail of him, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and print the rest of him. After looking online, I found a model I liked. It's already a multi-part print, but since I scaled it up even more, I had to split some of the parts into even smaller pieces to fit the print bed. The printing process took about a week. That's most parts of Stitch finished. There's a couple more being printed right now. What I'm gonna do now is remove some of the supports that didn't come off easily, and then just use duct tape and piece him together to see if it fits all right. Turned out a bit bigger than I thought, but it's fine. There's some gaps. There's always a bit of warping when printing something this big, even using PLA. The eyes are missing. Those are being printed right now. What I'm going to do now is use some very strong glue, and it takes a couple of hours to harden and dry. So therefore I'm going to weld the seams to keep all parts in place while the glue dries. I'm using a good old soldering iron to weld the seams. Both the plastic itself and the glue is pretty nasty when heated up, so I'll make sure to wear protective glasses and a half-mask respirator. After some quick sanding, I applied some filler primer to get a good and consistent surface, before even more sanding. I don't think this part is too interesting, but I basically put on several layers of filler primer and sanded, put on some putty, sanded, some more filler primer, and basically repeated the process until I was happy. This process took a couple of days, but then it was finally time to put on some paint, which is much more satisfying. Using a color chart, I tried to match the shades as accurately as possible. In the end, I went with slightly more muted tones instead of the bright ones, which feels closer to the live-action look than the cartoon version. I found 2 of the colors at my local hardware store. The other 2 had to be ordered, which of course meant waiting a few extra days. With all that filler primer and paint, the parts were way tighter than before, so I had to break out the rubber mallet and gently persuade them into place. I used this very fine masking tape to mask off the inside of the ears and paint them. And the very last thing I did was to apply a satin clear coat to the entire figure. And there we are. Stitch is completed, and I can't wait to see the reaction when I give this to my son on Christmas.
Pappa på där uppe, tror jag. Han trodde att det var det här. Ja.